signed up, so they're 20, at least 25 years old.
Okay. What is the expected lifespan?
Not that much.
Well, I guess my only thing is that I would like the council to think about is I would hate to put a bunch of money into a sticker to put onto a street sign that we're going to replace. And I just have kind of noticed, at least the ones in my neck of the woods, are looking a little rough. And I'm not saying they should be our #1 priority, but if we're going to replace them in some structure or whatever the process is for replacing them, I would rather see us phase it in that capacity.
Should we talk about that?
Very good idea.
That would be fine. But that was just my, I've been here as long as I've lived here. And that's 15, 16 years.
Get some estimates from Tom for our next meeting and have a chit chat about maybe phasing in some new signs, because those signs were wonderful. I can remember when we didn't even have signs on that end of town, all of a sudden we have these beautiful signs, so something to think about.
As we talked about budgeting.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
That's another thing we can do some projects on. But we time, that's something to look at.
We do a certain amount of years.
Okay. Any other discussion? Moving on to item 10. Ms. Christensen, your report.
Well, just to give you a heads up on some of the things that I've been working on. Our code enforcement officer has resigned, and as of December 31st, so I have an interview set up tomorrow with someone his recommended that he had worked with for a number of years in Grand Rapids Police Department. This gentleman also comes highly recommended from our labor attorney, and I talked with him, so we'll sit down tomorrow and see if he would be a good fit for the city. The city's building inspectors, BCI, have resigned, effective January 24th. So we're seeking names and looking into companies that might possibly take that on. The law firm Law Weathers, which used to be our city attorney, and is now merging with Barnum Law Firm. I don't know what their name is going to be, but the only attorney that we have currently working out of that firm is our labor attorney, and he will still continue to do that job for us. I wanted to remind you that the Planning Commission has a pretty big meeting coming up January 5th. It includes a public hearing on the rezonings for the potential PUD up at the Main and Maple Street site, and they'll also be doing their plan unit site plan, and that will be a part of the discussion as well. It also should be the annual reorganization of the Planning Commission, but we might want to put that off for a month because you'll be pretty busy with all the other business that will be going on that night. At the November DDA meeting, the DDA approved the purchase of parking lot signs for the downtown, and Tom is investigating some cost-effective ways to mount those on signs that we have right now so that we don't totally deplete the DDA's budget. We've had several streetlights reported throughout the town, and they've all been reported to consumers. I'm not sure what the status is, if they've been fixed yet, but consumers should be working on that. Tom is also working on getting some lights repaired on the backs of buildings in the downtown area so that some of the downtown parking lots will be more lit up for the safety of visitors and employees that park in those locations. And I wanted to remind you of the special meeting next Thursday night at Solon Township to review the outcomes of the joint fire study, and I also included a copy of that at each of your stations for you to read over before the meeting.
And there's no workshop for that, correct?
No.
It's at 7.
It's at 7 at Solon Township. And just to report on the dedication of the Memorial Park Pavilion, it was a really great afternoon. Well attended despite the snowy weather, so everyone stood under the pavilion to protect themselves from the snow. So it was a great afternoon, and we have a the sign, I think, was going up sometime this week, that he was putting down.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Representative McGregor was there, Dr. Hewlin was there, and David spoke.
County
Also,
Commissioner, Martin Morgan was there.
Mark Margaret from the county was there, and presented it was very, very nice, very nice. Well deserved. That pavilion will last a lifetime, and I believe that young lady gained a lot of knowledge from what the thing was. Thank you. Any other business?
Other than your monthly department reports.
Okay, we have our monthly departmental report. Public Works, infrastructure alternative. Officer Kelly's here with the police department. Chief Fraser for the fire department.
I've got a couple of other things. I was gonna bring up the December 17th meeting and so on. I think it'd be a good meeting to attend. There's a lot come out of that site.
I think we have to do it.
If you get a chance, spend an hour or so out there.
Well, we will be there. We have a lot of reading to do for that.
We applied for a grant for 1,000 smoke detectors, and we were notified a couple of weeks ago that we did not receive that grant. However, we are aware that the AFT grants are going to open soon, and we're going to sit down and put our collective heads together and find some things to apply for. Just let you know that part of that study was pursuing grants as part of our recommendation, and we have been actively doing that for several years. And we have purchased quite a bit of things through grants. So
Yes, we
that
have.
was just a couple things I wanted to point out, that there is money becoming available, and we'll apply for them, whether we get them or not. At least we're attempting to get our foot in the door.
Hats off to you and your crew for all the diligent work you've gotten, and you've got some large sums of money over the years for grants, and so I'm credited to you.
Well, we've turned the corner and headed in the right direction. We got quite a ways to go. We got quite a hike, but hopefully, barring no major issues, we'll head that way.
I'm sure you will. Thank you for all your work. City clerk.
My report's in here. I don't even remember what I wrote.
You're not the clerk. You mean you're supposed to be doing.
She didn't write the report though. She probably hasn't even read it.
She said it's for 15 cents a pound. Nothing to say?
Are you me?
Everyone's looking at you.
Everyone's great.
Finance officer. Finance officer and treasurer.
Nope, nothing new.
So go ahead and look over our big report here. That was a great audit. So moving on, professional code, we have no report this month. Code enforcement, we have no. Boards and commissions, we have the November 10 and December 1 planning commission minutes, and then the October 26 Cedar Springs Library Board, and then of course November 23rd EDA minutes. Is there any other comments or business to be brought before the council before we move into council comments? Hearing none. Start with Mr. Clark.
Well, I'm thrilled to see the big problem with parking. Yeah, I saw you parked across the street there. I thought he was hiding so he didn't get hit.
All day and all night.
All day and all night, yeah. You look like you need some rest from it. But it's wonderful to see the activity, and Perry keeping his store open all hours. It's great. I hope that you're seeing benefits from all of that activity. I did have, we had a library board meeting in the brewery, and one of the members of the Friends of the Library was saying, we can't even cross the street, we can't even get out into traffic with our car because we can't see, and she's older, but the whole traffic issue that we were talking about, I think that this, if this trend continues, we certainly are going to have to try to do something to reduce the difficulty getting around. You can't even turn left off of Main Street at night. Wait 2-3 minutes with traffic. So I believe we're going to have to pursue that pretty aggressively in the not too distant future.
Mr. Powell?
Thank you, Linda, you're doing a wonderful job. I'm very happy with the progress you're making and the things you're addressing that are important to us all, and thank you, and everybody have a happy and safe Christmas. Carry on.
Ms. Conlon?
Big thank you to Deb for this fabulous audit. There's a huge amount of work in this very exciting book. So, woohoo. It is, it's a big deal. And thank you to Marty for all of this amazing work in this fire study and having commenced having it happen. And I'm very looking forward to reading it and hearing about how that might impact what we do with the new fire barn. And thank you to Linda and all of our staff who have just pulled together and made all this transition as former manager Taylor has moved on, a very smooth transition, and you all just do your job so wonderfully that it's hard to even imagine that we need a manager. I know we do, but you're making it look easy. You're making it look easy. And I thank you for that. And I'd like to say, very excited, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but that Santa came to town, and I was in a debate tournament, but I heard the mayor and Mr. Hopkins and a variety of other folks were there, and that it was very festive. And I was honored to have been asked, along with the mayor, to speak at the dedication of the memorial or the pavilion in the park in Morley Park, and that was really festive. And thank you to Linda for all the refreshments and the plaque and putting that all together. It was very, very polished and very well attended. And just in general, I'm very excited about all the fabulous things that so many people are doing. I had a really great burger and some really great grilled sprouts for dinner tonight. And I think you're going to have to expand. It was crazy.
I'm gonna do some bills first.
Yeah, I was for Thursday evening at 4:45, I was astounded. Or 4:45, I was astounded at just how fast it was. So, props.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Hopkins?
Well, as a citizen, I'd like to say I'm pretty happy with a lot of the people's efforts in this community. Our staff does a very good job at what they do. Our firefighters and Sergeant Kelly, they help take part with our annual Christmas event. And, you know, this is one of the first years in a while since we started the chamber that we've had enough sponsors, like businesses, local businesses, step up and actually help promote the events that are going on. We had advertisement to post for the events in this town almost every week since Halloween. And, you know, for the one last week, we had over 12 businesses that invested in their community event. And that the library and the museum, they had a great rapport on how many new people that came to make ornaments. That last year the museum only had 3 people that came, and they had I think it was 30 or 40. And the library had over 70 versus last year I think it was in the teens. So they were very happy at the efforts of our businesses for helping promote what they have going on, not just the tree lighting, not just the mini parade, but the other things encompassing in our town. And so I'm grateful for the businesses that put effort into our community, as well as the individuals that volunteer for the Christmas event. The chamber had double the amount of volunteers to come out and help put that on. It ran the smoothest with having more than 4 people working at it. And I want to give Mr. Mayor kudos for coming out and his words, he spoke with very nice. I also want to give you kudos for, we may not vote on the same things all the time, but I do respect your knowledge of the history of this town when it comes to our events and our activities and what we need to put forth to better this community. From what I understand, you've been here since before it was a city and it was just a village. Now, your experience, not your age.
He was like 3.
I was born and raised.
So between you and Mario over here, we've got quite a bit of experience going on.
Thank you.
And I'm older than both of them put together. You didn't say a thing about me.
That's about dinosaurs earlier.
Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to each and every one in this room. And I'm looking forward to what we can accomplish in 2016.
Whatever the year.
Well, I'll try to be brief since very few others were.
He's looking at me.
Well, not just you. Anyway, I'm grateful for the people who work in this community, some of whom get paid, but many of whom do not. I feel like anyone who does work in this community is not doing it to get rich. Certainly, no one has anything gold and gilded at home, I imagine. But you have to work here because you love it, and I appreciate Friends of Skinner Field and the Chamber and the Red Flannel Festival and all the people who do wonderful things in this community, and it's truly what makes it great to live here. And I wasn't brief after all, sorry.
Thank you. I too, I've made this statement before, there's no I in team. And it's a team effort for where we're headed and what things are being done here. Everybody's pitching in and everything is moving forward. And 2016 is going to be a great year, and I'm sure a lot of the future years are going to be just as great. We talked about a lot of things here on the agenda. That's things that we need to look at in the future to make this town as great as it already is. I thank Mr. Hopkins for the tree lighting ceremony. It went very well, and I did cut in front of the line. I had my picture taken with Santa. And so that was really fun. My grandson, he still talks about that. He had to sit on Santa's lap. I just want to remind everybody that we have our meeting at Solon Township the 17th at 7 o'clock. Read your little book and be prepared. Great things are coming. And we need to be aware. And having said all that, any other business, I hereby call the meeting adjourned. This will be the shortest one we've had ever.
Yeah.